We all know that communication is the backbone of any successful team, right? But what we often miss are the small, everyday failures, the little missteps that silently sabotage projects, drain morale, and, believe it or not, create massive hidden costs. So today, we're going to uncover some of the most common breakdowns and, most importantly, how to fix them. All right, let's dive in. So what's with this number? $2 trillion. Get this, according to research highlighted in the Harvard Business Review, that is the staggering annual cost of poor communication to companies in the US alone. That breaks down to over $15,000 lost per employee every single year. This isn't just about minor mix-ups or hurt feelings, you know? This is a massive financial leak that affects literally everything. The stakes just couldn't be higher.
That $2 trillion, we can think of it as communication's hidden tax. So in this explainer, we're going to break down 4 of the most costly failures that lead to it: the assumption trap, the fog of ambiguity, emotional hijacking, and the information imbalance. Then we're going to pull it all together into a practical toolkit that you can start using right away.
All right, let's start with one of the most common and sneakiest failures out there: the assumption trap. This is what happens when we believe everyone shares the same understanding, but we never actually check to make sure. It's the silent killer of project timelines and team alignment. How many times have you heard something just like this? Or, let's be honest, maybe even said it yourself. This is the assumption trap in action. It happens because we're busy, we think something is just obvious, and we forget to confirm that the message was not only received, but was understood exactly as we intended. Always remember, meaning isn't what you say, it's what the other person understands. And the fallout from this one simple assumption? Oh, it's huge. When assumptions take over, you get wasted rework, you get missed deadlines, sometimes even 2 people doing the exact same task. But honestly, beyond the productivity hits, the real damage is to your culture. It just erodes trust between team members and slowly chips away at morale, creating an environment where nobody feels confident moving forward.
So how do we prevent this? It's all about being proactive. First, just make a habit of asking clarifying questions. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of a professional. Second, paraphrase what you heard to confirm. Something simple like, okay, so just to be sure I've got this, the new deadline is 10 a.m., not noon, correct? And third, document your key decisions in a shared space. It creates a single source of truth and just wipes out that ambiguity.
Our second failure builds right on top of the first one: the fog of ambiguity. This is what happens when instructions are vague, they're incomplete, or they're open to all sorts of interpretations, leaving your team kind of lost and confused about what you actually expect from them. This right here is a perfect example. I mean, what does quickly even mean? Seriously. To one person, it could mean drop everything and do it in the next hour. To someone else, it might mean get to it by the end of the day. When we use these vague words like soon, or a few, or later, it's basically a recipe for disaster because you're forcing everyone to guess what you mean.
And the costs here are pretty significant. Team members waste so much valuable time just hunting down clarification instead of, actually doing the work. The results you get are inconsistent because everyone is working off a different mental blueprint. And over time, this really undermines trust in leadership and just holds back the entire team's performance.
To fix this, we have to be relentlessly specific. So instead of quickly, you say, please respond to the client by 2 p.m. today and CC me on the email. Use concrete language. Give people the exact dates, times, and quantities. And this last one is critical. Explain the why behind the task. It provides that little bit of context that helps people make much smarter decisions on their own. Now, our third failure is a bit different. It's called emotional hijacking. This is when our emotions grab the steering wheel and we react impulsively instead of responding thoughtfully and professionally, especially when the pressure is on. Just think about it for a second. When you get some critical feedback, or you're facing a crazy deadline, or something just goes completely wrong, what's your first instinct? Do you pause and think? Or do you just fire off a reply? Things like stress, criticism, and ego threats, they're everywhere at work, and they are powerful triggers. This is a classic emotional hijack. The pressure is on, something breaks, and that immediate reaction is to find blame or just vent frustration. It feels so justified in the moment, but the long-term damage from these impulsive reactions, it can be really severe. When our emotions are running the show, we make irrational decisions. Small problems suddenly escalate into huge conflicts. And maybe the most damaging thing of all is that it just destroys employee trust and creates a culture of fear, where people are actually afraid to make mistakes or to speak up. And that is a direct path to disengagement and zero innovation. The key here is emotional regulation, and the most powerful tool you have is so simple. Just pause. Take a minute, take an hour, heck, take a day before you respond to something that feels emotionally charged. This little bit of space allows you to shift your focus from who's to blame to how do we fix this? It's a core component of building your emotional intelligence.
All right, our fourth failure is a real balancing act. It's the information imbalance. Think of it like a delicate tightrope walk between undercommunication, which leaves people totally in the dark, and overcommunication, which just drowns them in noise.
And let me tell you, both extremes are incredibly damaging. Undercommunication, well, it breeds confusion, leads to rework, and makes your team feel untrusted and out of the loop. But on the flip side, overcommunication, we're talking too many emails, pointless meetings, redundant updates, that leads to cognitive overload. People just start tuning out, important messages get missed, and engagement absolutely plummets.
Finding that perfect balance really comes down to a few key tactics. First, tailor your message. Ask yourself, does the entire company really need this update or just the project team? Then, choose the right channel for that message. A quick question is probably best for a DM, while a major policy change definitely needs a formal email. Always aim to be as clear and concise as you can. And finally, create a feedback loop. Ask people if your communication is working for them.
Okay, so we've diagnosed these common communication breakdowns. Now let's pull all those prevention strategies together into a simple, powerful toolkit you can start using literally today. It all really comes down to building 4 core habits. First, always clarify and confirm, never ever assume. Second, be specific. Use concrete details to get rid of that fog of ambiguity. Third, respond, don't react. Give yourself that crucial moment to manage your emotions. And fourth, tailor your message. Think quality over quantity. These 4 habits are your best defense against nearly every communication failure we've talked about.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this one question. Take a look at those 4 habits. Which one, if you just started practicing it today, would make the biggest difference for you and for your team? Don't try to fix everything all at once. Just pick one. Start there. Because improving communication isn't about some grand, sweeping gesture. It's about building small, consistent habits that pay off with massive dividends over time.